You know that feeling, right? Your computer is supposed to make your life easier, but sometimes it just feels like a battle. Well, if you've ever wished there was a simpler, less frustrating way to just get online and do your thing, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to explore a different kind of computer, a Chromebook, and see if it might just be that stress-free solution you've been looking for.
Does this look a little too familiar? That spinning wheel, the confusing error messages, those pop-ups that always demand an update at the worst possible time. It just seems to get slower and more clogged up over time, and honestly, it can make you feel like you need a PhD just to send an email. And hey, if you feel that way, you are definitely not alone. For so many people, this kind of tech complexity is a real source of anxiety.
This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the traditional computer. It's complex, you have to have antivirus software, and it just seems to get slower every single year. But on the other side, you have the Chromebook approach. Simple, secure, right out of the box, built to stay fast, and it updates itself quietly without ever bothering you. This isn't just a small tweak. It's a completely different way of thinking about what a computer should be.
So, how on earth did we get here? Why are the computers most of us have used for years so complicated? The answer, and this might surprise you, goes way back to a time before the internet was at the center of everything we do.
I absolutely love this analogy from Ron Brown over at Tech for Senior. Think of old-school operating systems like Windows or Mac as these giant semi-trucks. They were built before the internet superhighway was even paved. And over the decades, they've just kept adding more and more trailers. Old code, extra features, security patches on top of patches. Yeah, they're powerful, but man, they are also big, slow, and carrying a lot of baggage.
So instead of just building another one of those big semi-trucks, Google decided to start with a totally blank page. They asked a really simple question. If we were going to build a computer from the ground up for today's world, an internet-first world, what would that actually look like?
To really get what a Chromebook is, let's use a new analogy. I want you to start by picturing the internet as this huge, unlimited highway. It's the road that takes you literally everywhere you need to go online, whether it's to your bank, to look at family photos, or to jump on a video call with your grandkids.
Now, to travel on that highway, you need a vehicle, right? Well, that vehicle is your web browser. That's the program you use to go to websites, like Google Chrome or Safari or whatever you use. For most of us, this is where we spend pretty much all of our time on the computer anyway.
And this is where it all clicks. If that traditional PC is the slow, clunky semi-truck, a Chromebook is like a zippy little sports car. I think Ron Brown called it a Mazda Miata. It's built for one thing, to drive on that internet highway and drive it fast. It's got everything you need to get where you're going quickly and safely without hauling all that junk from the past. It's just light, efficient, and super fast.
So how can it be so simple and light? Well, the secret ingredient is the cloud. Now, don't let that word intimidate you. It's just a name for a service. Here's a better way to think about it. Your Chromebook is like a cozy little tiny house. It has exactly what you need for daily life and nothing you don't. And the cloud, services like Google Drive, is like a massive, super secure warehouse. All your photos, your documents, your emails, they're not cluttering up your house. They're all stored safely in that warehouse, and you can grab them instantly whenever you need them just by hopping on that internet highway.
Okay, so we get why it's built this way. Now let's get to the good part, the payoff. Let's look at the 3 huge benefits that this simple design gives you, especially if you're just tired of all the computer headaches. All right, here is the secret to its incredible simplicity. The entire experience of using a Chromebook is basically just using the Google Chrome web browser. That's it. There's no confusing desktop, no complicated file folders to get lost in. Let me say that again. If you know how to use a website, you already know how to use a Chromebook. It is truly that simple.
Let's just pause on that for a second. Think about what that means. With a Chromebook, you can say goodbye to worrying about viruses. Period. Forget about malware. Forget about buying, installing, and updating that expensive antivirus software. All of that stress is just gone.
So how is that even possible? Well, it's because security isn't an add-on. It's woven right into the very fabric of the system from day one. It updates itself automatically in the background. So you're always running the latest, most secure version without ever seeing a single annoying pop-up. You literally don't have to lift a finger. It just works. And here's a fascinating little bit of context. You may have heard that Microsoft now requires a special security chip called the TPM chip to run Windows 11. And it's a big reason why a lot of people can't upgrade their older PCs. Well, as Ron Brown points out, Chromebooks have had that same level of hardware security built in from the very beginning. For For them, security was never, ever an afterthought.
But beyond being simple and super secure, Chromebooks were designed from the ground up to be used by everyone. And that means they have some really powerful tools built right in to help with common challenges that can make using a computer tough. Like changes in vision, or maybe dexterity issues from something like arthritis.
And the best part is, these aren't some expensive extras you have to buy and install. They're just built right in. With a simple keyboard shortcut, boom, you're in high contrast mode, and the text just pops. You can make the mouse cursor huge, so you never lose it. If your eyes get tired, no problem. Just highlight any text on the screen, and the computer reads it aloud to you. And if typing is a pain, you can just speak, and the Chromebook types for you. These are real, practical solutions for real-world problems.
Okay. I can practically hear you thinking, simple and safe sounds great, but is it actually powerful enough? And what in the world happens when my internet goes out? Those are the two biggest questions people have, so let's just tackle them head on.
Yeah, there's this old myth that just won't die, that Chromebooks are just these cheap, underpowered laptops for school kids. But as Ron Brown, who's used them for years, says so clearly, that is simply not true anymore. Modern Chromebooks can be incredibly fast, often even faster than way more expensive traditional laptops, because that lightweight system lets the hardware really fly.
But with so many models out there, how do you pick a good one? It can get pretty confusing. Well, to solve that problem, Google created a new standard. It's called Chromebook Plus. Think of it as a simple logo that's basically a guarantee, a promise that the machine you're buying meets a really high standard for speed, power, and quality. It just takes all the guesswork out of shopping. And we're not talking about vague promises here. As you can see, a Chromebook Plus laptop is guaranteed to have powerful stuff inside. That fast processor and a healthy 8 gigs of RAM, that means you can have a bunch of tabs open with no slowdown. You get plenty of storage, a great high-definition webcam for crystal clear video calls, and a beautiful screen. I mean, by any measure, this is a seriously powerful machine. Okay, this is the ultimate practical question, right? If the whole thing is built for that internet highway, what happens when there's a roadblock? Are you just stuck? And the answer is a very clear, resounding no. You can absolutely keep on working. Key apps like Gmail, your calendar, and Google Docs all have offline modes built right in. You can write emails, edit your documents, check your schedule, all without a connection. The second you get back online, everything just syncs up automatically in the background. You just need a connection, not necessarily a super fast one all the time. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. We've talked about the why and the how, so now let's boil all of this down into a super simple, actionable guide for you. Here it is. Step 1, just ask yourself one simple question. Do I want a computer that is simple, secure, and fast, not just today, but for years down the road? Step 2, when you're ready to shop, ignore all the confusing model numbers and tech specs. Just look for one thing, that Chromebook Plus logo. That's your seal of quality. And then step 3, just enjoy it. Enjoy a computer that finally gets out of your way and just lets you do what you want to do. At the end of the day, this isn't really just about technology. It's about what that technology lets you do. So I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on. If you didn't have to fight with your computer anymore, if you had one that just worked simply and reliably every single time you opened it, what would you do with all that freedom?